Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn to avoid some important mistakes, so let's get started. First, this is not correct.
$85 US, which is kind of a lot for this pants.
Which is kind of a lot for this pants? We cannot say for this pants. We have to say for these pants. So it's correct to say which is kind of a lot for these pants. Let's look at the difference. If I say this with the short I sound like this is, it's for one thing. Example, this hat. And the S is a true S. S, no voice. This hat. But if I talk about pants, I have to say these pants. And I use a long E like green beans, plus the Z sound, like in zebra, with a voice, vibration. Z, these pants. So the price is $85, which is kind of a lot for these pants. I agree. They're expensive. Let's talk about these pants. Are these pants cheap or expensive? That's right, these pants are expensive. This is also not correct.
It doesn't wrinkle either. I think it's a great traveling pants. You might be a little bit...
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It doesn't wrinkle? It's a great traveling pants? We cannot say this. First, it doesn't wrinkle. They're pants. We don't say it doesn't. We say they don't. Because pants is a plural word. They don't wrinkle. It's a great traveling pants? We cannot use a here because pants is a plural word. We cannot say a great traveling pants. It's a great traveling pants? We cannot say this. We say they are. They are great traveling pants. No and no it's. They are. Together, they're. They're great traveling pants. This is correct. Let's talk about these pants. They are wrinkle-free. That means they don't wrinkle. I don't say it doesn't wrinkle. I say they don't wrinkle. They don't wrinkle because they are wrinkle-free. And they are great traveling pants. Let's practice. Are they wrinkle-free? That's right, they are wrinkle-free. Does that mean they don't wrinkle? That's right, that means they don't wrinkle. Are they great traveling pants? That's right, they are great traveling pants. This is also not correct.
But it's pretty thin. You can roll it up like small.
You can roll it up like small? He's talking about pants. We don't say you can roll it up like small. Again, pants is a plural word, so we don't say it, we say them. You can roll them up like small? This is not correct. We say you can roll them up to make them shorter. We cannot just say like small. It's correct to say you can roll them up and make them shorter. Talking about pants, talking about rolling up pants, rolling up the pant legs, that's what they're called. Pants have two pant legs. You can roll them up to make the pants shorter, to make them shorter. Again, you can roll them up to make them shorter, if they're too long. Let's practice. Can you roll them up to make them shorter? That's right, you can roll them up to make them shorter. You cannot say you can roll it up like small. This doesn't work. This is also not correct.
The largest concentration of sharks on the planet. So Darwin and Wolf.
We saw 20 of that largest concentration.
Yeah.
And we made it out alive.
Yeah.
We saw 20 of that largest concentration and we made it out alive. She's talking about sharks. Where they are, it's the largest concentration of sharks. But she said, we saw 20 of that largest concentration. This is not correct. If I say we saw 20 of, I need a plural noun. I cannot say we saw 20 of that largest concentration. We need a plural noun or a pronoun. You can say, we saw 20 of them. Talking about the sharks. 20 sharks. We saw 20 of them. But I cannot say we saw 20 of that largest concentration. We cannot have a singular noun after this. So you can say we saw 20 of those sharks, or we saw 20 of them, but not we saw 20 of that largest concentration. So they're in a place that has a lot of sharks. How many of them did they see? Did they see 20 of them? That's right, they saw 20 of them and made it out alive. That means they survived. They weren't eaten by sharks. This is also not correct.
So I guess this is a popular street where you can eat.
That side is busier because they catch the guys as they turn the corner. We've eaten here a long time ago.
We've eaten here a long time ago? If I say we've eaten here, I'm using we have eaten here. We have plus eaten is for a time in the past that is not specific, not a specific time in the past. For example, I can say, have you ever eaten here before? And you can answer, yes, I've eaten here before. That just means in your life, at no specific time. But if I say a long time ago, I'm giving a specific time, so I have to use simple past. Example, they ate here a long time ago. I cannot say they've eaten here a long time ago. I can say they've eaten here before. The idea, sometime in the past, but I'm not being specific about when. They've eaten here before. And if I say a long time ago, I use past. They ate here a long time ago. Not they've eaten, but they ate. They ate here a long time ago. So I cannot say we've eaten here a long time ago. I cannot mix these two. Again, we've eaten here, non-specific past. A long time ago is a specific time in the past. We cannot mix these. So, example, I can ask a question, have they ever eaten there before? And you can say, yes, they've eaten there before. When? Oh, they ate there a long time ago. Let's practice. Have they ever eaten there before? Very good. That's right. They've eaten there before. When? Did they eat there a long time ago? That's right. They ate there a long time ago. This is also not correct.
These are all the different types of animals you can find in the Galapagos.
There are all the different type of animals you can find. I have to say types. I cannot say there are all the different type of animals you can find. I need types of animals. There are all the different types of animals you can find. I cannot use the singular type here. I have to use the plural types. Example, there are a lot of different types of animals. Not type of animals, but types of animals. Let's practice. Are there a lot of different types of animals? That's right. There are a lot of different types of animals. And don't say this either.
Now she's taking out her hat from her bag.
She's taking out her hat from her bag. We don't say this. We say she's taking her hat out of her bag. Just out of. Go from. She's taking her hat out of her bag. Not she's taking out her hat from her bag. Don't say that. So again, she's taking her hat out of her bag. Let's practice. Is she taking her hat out of her bag? That's right. She's taking her hat out of her bag. Well, can I say she's taking out her hat? Sure, if you don't say from her bag, you can say she's taking out her hat. But then that's it. So if you want to include the bag, she's taking her hat out of her bag. So my question now is, when can I say out from? Is it always out of? Sometimes we say out of, and sometimes we say out from. And keep watching to practice more and find out how to use these confusing prepositions. Example, get out from the house? No, we don't say this. We say get out of the house. Get out of the house. Not get out from the house, but get out of the house. Example, take it out from the refrigerator? No, we don't say this. It's take it out of. Take it out of the refrigerator. Now let's talk about pronunciation. Example, get out of the way. Get out of the way sounds like this. Get out of the way. So the T in get changes to a fast D because it's between vowels. Get out, outa. The T in out changes to a fast D because it's between vowels. And what about the V sound in of? Well, you don't have to make that sound, and most people don't. They say get out of the way, out of the way. Of course, you can say v, you can say get out of the way, but you don't have to. Get out of the way.
You don't have to get the business out of the way before getting to the pleasure.
You're driving around North Beach for no particular reason, and this car won't get out of the way.
Guys, get out of the way!
Start on that mid-shot of Lori coming out of the subway.
And I promise I will get out of the way and let the two of you be happy.
Example, she needs to get out of the way. Not out from the way, but out of. Pronunciation, get out of the way. She needs to get out of the way. Let's practice. Does she need to get out of the way? That's right, she needs to get out of the way. Example, he needs to take the turkey out of the refrigerator. Not out from the refrigerator, but out of. Pronunciation, take it out of. Pronunciation, he needs to take the turkey out of the refrigerator. Again, out of the refrigerator. The T is a fast D, and you don't hear the V sound. Outa. He needs to take it out of the refrigerator. Let's practice. Does he need to take it out of the refrigerator? That's right, he needs to take it out of the refrigerator. We also hear the vowel is a little different. I don't pronounce ow quite so clearly. Not outa, but outa, outa. You can say it both ways. You can say take it out of the refrigerator or take it out of the refrigerator. People say it both ways. Now let's talk about out from. Can you ever say out from? Yes, you can. We use out from with out from behind and out from under. These are the two most common uses of out from, and the only two that I know. If you know any others, let me know. So the two I know, out from under and out from behind.
Crawl out from under that rock you're hiding under and I'll drive this truck up.
Way to get our money and get out from under the thumb of Crimson Dawn at the same time.
And then these guys, they came out from behind the houses and they started shooting everyone right there on the street.
When the bad guy goes down the stairs to grab her, she jumps out from behind the big oak tree where she's been hiding and lifts the heavy door off the ground and closes it on top of him.
The sun itself turns jealous and refuses to come out from behind the clouds.
As soon as I get out from under your butt area.
Example. The mouse came out from under the refrigerator. Or out from behind, I can say the mouse came out from behind the refrigerator. This is when we hear out from. Let's practice. Did the mouse come out from under the refrigerator? That's right, the mouse came out from under the refrigerator. The idea, the mouse was under the refrigerator and he came out. Or out from behind. The mouse came out from behind the refrigerator. The idea, the mouse was behind the refrigerator, then he came out. Let's practice. Did the mouse come out from behind the refrigerator? That's right, the mouse came out from behind the refrigerator. And everybody was scared. So we see, in most cases, don't say out from, say out of. Out of the house, out of the refrigerator. But if you use behind or under, then we say out from. Out from behind or out from under something. Thank you for watching and keep watching for more. First, don't say this. Don't say he's out of work at 5 o'clock. We don't use out of work for this situation. What about school? Well, sure. You can say the kids are out of school. And that means they're not attending school right now. The kids are out of school for summer. Let's practice. Are the kids out of school for summer? That's right, the kids are out of school for summer. So we can talk about the season when they're out of school, or we can talk about the time of day. For example, it's fall, so the kids are in school, but they get out of school at 3 p.m. We use the verb get to talk about the process. They get out of school at 3 p.m. They're in school right now because it's school time, and because it's fall. The kids are in school talking about the season, or the kids are in school talking about the time of day. Because it's during school hours, the kids are in school. But when they finish their day, we don't say finish, we say get out. They get out of school at 3 o'clock. But I don't have to say school after get out. I can say the kids are in school right now, but they get out at 3 o'clock. Let's practice. Are the kids in school right now? That's right, the kids are in school right now. And what time do they get out? That's right, they get out at 3 o'clock. Or they get out of school at 3 o'clock. But remember, you don't have to say school if it's understood. So what about he's out of work? Can I say that? You can, but it means something different. If I say he's out of work, that means he doesn't have a job. He's unemployed. He's out of work. Let's practice. He doesn't have a job. Is he out of work? That's right, he's out of work. He doesn't have a job. So what do you say if the person is finishing their workday? Then we say they get off. They get off work. But you don't have to say work. You can just say get off. He's working right now, but he gets off at 5 o'clock. Or he gets off work at 5 o'clock. Both are correct. So if I can say kids are in school or out of school, can I say a person is off work or on work? No, it doesn't work that way. We say a person is at work or they're working. He's working right now, but he gets off at 5 o'clock. He gets off work at 5 o'clock. But remember, you don't have to say work. Let's practice. Is he working right now? That's right, he's working right now. And what time does he get off? That's right, he gets off at 5 o'clock. Or you can say he gets off work at 5 o'clock. But don't say he's out of work at 5 o'clock. That's different. That's not correct. So remember, when you talk about school, you can say the kids are in school or they're out of school. And you can use the verb get. They get out of school at 3 o'clock. But if you talk about work, don't say someone's out of work. That means they don't have a job. Say they get off work at 5 o'clock. First, don't say this. Never say this. Never say go out from my house. This is never correct. What about go out of my house or go out of the house? This is correct sometimes, but we have a better alternative. We have something that sounds a lot more natural. Use the verb leave. Leave the house or leave my house. Never say go out from my house, and avoid using go out of my house because it's not as common as the verb leave. Leave in the past left. Example, she leaves the house in the morning. She goes out of the house in the morning? That doesn't sound right. She leaves the house in the morning. She leaves the house in the morning and she goes to work. Let's practice. Does she leave the house in the morning? That's right, she leaves the house in the morning. Does she leave the house in the morning and go to work? That's right, she leaves the house in the morning and she goes to work. In this situation, don't say go out of the house and never say go out from the house. That's never correct. So leave in the present, in the past left. Example, she left her house this morning and she went to work. Let's practice. Did she leave her house this morning and go to work? That's right, she left her house this morning and she went to work. So you can say leave the house or leave my house, leave her house, leave your house. It's easier to use the, leave the house. This is always correct. What about this? Can I say get out of the house or get out of my house? Yes, you can, but only when there's emotion. Example, you're bored. You've been at home for a long time, many days. You say, I'm tired of being at home. I want to get out of the house. Pronunciation, I want to get out of the house. Not get out of, but get out of. We hear the T in get and the T in out pronounced as fast E's. Get out of the house. And you don't have to pronounce the V sound in of because it's before a consonant. Get out of the house. I'm bored. I want to get out of the house. There's emotion. That's when we use this. Or if you're angry, you can say, get out of my house. Again, emotion. Let's hear some examples.
Get out of my house!
Hey, I need to get out of the house.
What? Get out of my house!
Get out of my house! Go!
Get out of my house! Yes. anything to get out of the house right now.
You gotta get out of the house, Faye.
They hatched. Get out of the house.
Example, he's bored. He's been at home all day. He wants to get out of the house. Let's practice. He's bored. Does he want to get out of the house? That's right, he wants to get out of the house. She's angry, and she told the person, get out of my house. That's what she said. Let's practice. What did she say? Did she say, get out of my house? That's right, she said, get out of my house. Or if I explain, I can say, she told him to get out of her house. Pronunciation. Again, she told him to get out of her house. Now we need the v sound in of because we don't pronounce the h in her. We link the sounds. Get out of her. Now it's a vowel. Out of her. Not out of her, the h is silent. Because there's no consonant, we need the v sound. Of her, of her. She told him to get out of her house. Let's practice. What did she tell him? Did she tell him to get out of her house? That's right, she told him to get out of her house. So remember, never say go out from your house. Sometimes people say go out of your house, but it's always better to say leave. This is the best option. Leave in the present and left in the past. And only use get out of the house when there's emotion. You're bored, you're angry, something like that. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. Or if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.